Oh, you can hear a motorcycle. Whoa, it's going pretty fast. Oh shit. Okay, so. Oh man.
Oh my god.
Oh, I gotta watch that again. Hey guys, welcome to the first session of the crash review series. And the whole point of this is for us to review motorcycle crashes or near accidents that the channel Chaos Riders has compiled for us. And for me to just go through some select videos that I found interesting for me to talk about and discuss it with my viewers here, with the ultimate goal of all of us being safer riders. And hopefully there's some viewers out there that can explain to me what went wrong. And I don't know what time or when you're watching this, but for me, it's in the evening and I'm grabbing a cold one to watch and enjoy with you guys. All right, let's begin. All right, so first video here. Let's see. Quan Din Ho. Oh, he's pretty impatient. Ooh, watch out for that car. Okay, so he stalled his car here, and luckily for him, the Ford Focus was able to stop in time. Let's watch it again. No, I'm gonna stop right here. So you can tell here that this rider was very impatient and he was doing a lot of unnecessary rev bombs, trying to launch himself, turning left, but it kind of backfired on him because sometimes it's hard for you to time your first gear properly. And in this case, he ended up stalling his bike right at the intersection, turning left when there's an obvious car that's going straight. So he got really lucky there. But yeah, I would not rev bomb like that at an intersection trying to turn left. And I think he was riding with other buddies there, as you can see in the shadows. So he got lucky. All right, next one. Let's see what's gonna happen here. So he's in a slow moving traffic. Maybe he might get rear-ended. Actually, this is not in a motorcycle, it's in a car. Oh, you can hear a motorcycle. Whoa, it's going pretty fast. Oh shit. Okay, so.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
Wow. No helmet, no gear. Oh man, you got fucked up. Let's watch it again. Yeah, you can hear it from the back going pretty fast. But he slows down. Oh man.
Oh my god.
Oh, I gotta watch that again. Just back up a bit. Just gonna do a couple stop and goes here. Okay, so he still hasn't registered that the truck in front of him has stopped completely. And that's when he starts to realize that he needs to brake. But that's probably about 5 meters max between his front wheel to the truck. That's really not enough for him to brake, considering that he's probably only using the front brake here because his right foot is trailing it on the ground. So you can tell he's a bit of a new rider, or he's in a hurry to get rid of this bike. So I don't know what his situation was, but he doesn't have a helmet on or any of the riding gear. So let's see what happens next. So he's trying to stop, and then boom, eats it right in the mouth. Ooh. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh shit.
And you can tell when he gets up, he looks like he got punched by Mike Tyson or something. Oh man, that was horrible. Oh, got a drink after that one. All right, let's see what this next one is. It's in a mall parking lot, pretty dangerous area for riders. Okay, maybe it's this truck. Whoa! Whoa!
Hey, Jew.
Wow, she plays it well. Let's see it again. So you can tell that from her shadow and from her side view mirror is that there's a very bright sunlight coming from the back of the rider. And sometimes as a rider, you need to know that you are very difficult to see when there's a potential visibility hazard because of the bright sunlight, whether to the rider or to the driver. So when the sun is behind you, you have to be cognizant that the cars in front of you that's coming towards you may not see you. And I had a couple close calls to that example as well. Luckily, this rider already had this intuition that this truck driver was probably going to turn a little wide, which is why you can see that she starts finding her escape route on the right side, closer to the stop sign. So you'll see it right here. She notices it, and then she's like, oh, gotta get out of the way. But then at this point, the only action she had was to just yell, hey. And I would say at this point, as a rider, you should get used to accelerating out of the way, which she already has chosen that path earlier. And I'll just back it up a bit. You'll see her notice right there. So she noticed that this is a dangerous path, so then she steered right. But then rather than just going away from the hazard, she kind of got frozen there and realized that the only action she's doing at the moment is to yell at the guy. Let's see what happens.
Hey.
Right there, you can see that there's obviously obstruction on the truck driver, and you can tell that he was trying to cover his eyes from the sunlight. So he definitely did not see her. But then again, that is a very wide turn, so you got to watch out for that in parking lots. But at this point, the truck driver notices her, and then he takes his hands like off the steering wheel, like as if she pulled out a gun, which made her laugh, which made me laugh. But yeah, very lucky scenario there. All right, next. Okay, so they're in quite a bit of a traffic jam on the highway. So at this point, yeah, I was gonna say you gotta watch out for people.
What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I would be pissed too. At least he's walking. Yeah, so what I was gonna say was that you need to watch out for drivers behind you because they're very impatient at this point. And sometimes are on their phones. I really feel bad for this guy because it seemed like it was going slow traffic for a while.
Fun.
Oh man, he's holding it in. As you can see here, the traffic's going slow. Yeah, it's not like he did a sudden stop or anything like that. He was going at a slow pace at about 5 to 6 miles per hour, it seems like. So at this point, this is when you really have to keep alert on the drivers behind you. Because like I said, this is when drivers are very impatient or a little bit more confident in their driving skills. And that's when they start taking out their phones and then not realizing that there is a rider in front of you. So yeah, this is very unfortunate for the rider. And I'm glad he was able to walk away from that. But getting rear-ended is one of my big fears as well, especially on slow traffic like this, which is why lane splitting should be allowed in these kind of scenarios. But places like where I live right now, which is Canada, they don't allow it. It's illegal. And I know certain states in the US don't allow it either. But shit like this happen all the time.
Fun.
Glad he's okay. All right, so he's in the right lane position. Okay. So, well, that's a lot of red bombing. Okay, let's try again. This type of scenario is very common for a rider. Like I pretty much see this every day when I ride, sometimes like more than once in one ride. And this is because you are in the blind spot of the car next to you. So in this case, this sedan on the right, the gray sedan that's going to end up cutting him off, cannot see him. And you can tell by the slow movements from the gray sedan, once the truck in front of him with the trailer goes into the left turning lane, the sedan realizes that there's an open lane here that he can do a quick getaway, and last minute you'll see him turning on his signal light right about there. You can see the red blinking, and then without actually checking, he decides to accelerate, which was the same idea that the rider had. So what happened was both vehicles decided to accelerate at the same time, but clearly the rider here had the right of way, which this Honda Accord did not. So he's being a dick driver. And as well, you can see that it's turning yellow, which made everybody accelerate away from this. So good for the rider finding his exit path between the trailer and the Honda Accord at the right time. But yeah, this is pretty common. Now, I'm not really the type to red bomb, but any way possible to let the driver here know that you're there, you do what you must, because red bombing definitely is louder than honking your horns. And sometimes these drivers are so clueless that even if they hear it, they won't even know what's happening around them. Okay, so here he is on the highway. Whoa, whoa. Wow. That was lucky. Okay, so this is clearly on a freeway or the highway, and he's going at the right speed limit. It seems like 67 miles per hour. But in this case, what happened was a couple cars ahead of him did a sudden stop. Then what you started seeing right away was all these cars started to spool out from your lane to the safety lane onto the left side, and you'll see a couple cars moving out that way. That usually indicates that there's something that's obstructing them further ahead and that they all did not have enough time to stop. So this rider did a tremendous job making sure that he found a quick exit path. Let's see here. Because if you look at here, right away you can see the Camry that's in front of the rider starting to steer away from the lane. So that should be your first indicator that something's up. And then he quickly calculates his exit path, which is between this Camry and I don't know what this gray car is, but yeah, right away he slowed down as well. You can see that the suspension went down, which means he was braking pretty hard. You can hear the brake squeal. So he went from 65 to 41 real quick. Yeah. See, now at this point, while he's going in, you got to worry about this car trying to jump back into your lane without seeing you, because at this point, everyone's adrenaline is kicked up. And yeah, motorcycle is the last thing they'll see during that time. Woo. But yeah, that was a close one. Okay. Ugh, this guy's going fast around these turns. Yeah, wow. Oh, you got lucky there. Oh, man, my heart rate went up for that one. Let's start again. Okay, so you can see from right here that this rider isn't the most skilled. You can tell that he had to push really hard to make this first turn at 75, I assume, kilometers per hour. But you can tell that he started scraping his Yamaha here. Let's see if you can hear it. Right there. So he scraped his pegs and he brings it up right away, because obviously anytime you scrape a peg, you kind of jolt as a new rider. And this is one of the indicators why I think this guy is a fairly new rider who just got their confidence up after riding maybe 6 months or so. And that's kind of the danger stage. He starts continuing to ride harder and speeds up. So now he's at 130. Usually roads like this recommended to be 40 to 60 kilometers per hour, but he's going 130. So the time and space between him making that quick judgment on when to brake and finding the apex to do a quick sharp turn, based on that first turn that we just saw, I don't think he has this necessary skill to figure that out. And we obviously know the answer. So here, what happened was there was a bit of an illusion about a second back where he probably thought this was going straight. Let's go back here. So here he thought this was straight. Happened to me too when I'm on the road that I'm not familiar with. And that's another issue. This guy probably was never on this road before or isn't familiar with this road. But at this point, he sees the triple arrows and he's like, you know what? I'm going to try to make that turn. And then he's like, nope, that's not going to happen, because the higher the speed, the straighter the bike wants to go. So he dropped from 130 to 79 at this point, which means he braked really hard. And I think you can hear the rear tire squeal because he was probably panic braking quite hard. But luckily for him, the bike had tremendous good brakes, probably has ABS as well. And he was able to live for another day. I really hope this has taught him a lesson and he realized, you know, biking isn't just for fun and games. You really have to know your bike and your own limitations. I think that's the last video. Oh, no, there might be more. Oh, yes. Okay, so before I press this video, I just want to say this happens to a lot of riders and there's nothing to be embarrassed about, because this is a situation that you'll most likely experience one time or another when you own a motorcycle. This rider has, I think, a Sportster S, which is fairly new, and I'll just let you see it for yourself. Yeah, so what happened was that, as you can see here, he was controlling the motorcycle with the kickstand out. But what happened here was that when the bike is put in place, you'll see that right there, he moves the bike just a bit forward. And I think maybe it wasn't him that was pushing it, it was just gravity, because there was a little incline on his garage. But you can see the kickstand go in just a bit, and I'll show you again. right here. He thinks he stopped, but the gravity pulls it right there. So now at this point, the kickstand is not 100% on the bike, and he kind of has an idea. He probably felt it. And the problem is, again, this is on a downhill too, right? So really you should have stopped the bike a little bit forward where it seems a little bit more flatter, but that bike's gonna carry forward and then collapse your kickstand. So yeah, it's unfortunate for this rider here. Doesn't take that long. Right there, the gravity took forward and then the kickstand let go and the bike went down. So that is the first episode of KS Moto Cafe's first crash review video. Hopefully you found this at least entertaining or informative. Let me know in the comments below on some of the things that you observed that you wish to tell my audience and my viewers, or something that you want to correct me on, so we can all collectively be safe riders on the road. With that said, ride safe, ride prepared, ride on.